What's going on, guys? Frick Trades here, bringing you another new weekly stock watch list. Before we get started, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. I would really appreciate it. But without much more being delayed here, let's go ahead and get started. First things first is earnings week. So as far as earnings go for this current week that we are approaching, really the biggest name that I see on here is SMCI. Shopify could be one to look out for. Let's see, Reddit could be one as well. That hit all-time highs a few weeks ago, I believe. Haven't looked at it since. That could be a big one though for us for sure. But it looks like that's about it. Biggest thing to note too, along with earnings, is FOMC's out of the way. That ended up being break even, unchanged. Nothing was put up, nothing was put down. So the biggest thing to look forward to in September will be the hike down that everyone is expecting now. That's going to be really important to keep an eye out for, especially with the market pulling back the past week, honestly, even like the past 2 or 3 days. You guys, if you're active trading in the market, or even look at NQ or ES in the past day or two, the crazy sell-off that we have gone, it's getting pretty scary out here. With all this news, fear of a recession in the market, everything is getting pretty crazy. So my job for today for you guys is to give you the watch list and outlook for the week and what I have prepped up and ready going into Monday, or what any setups we can have prepared for the week. So let's go ahead and dive into the watch list, which is your guys' favorite part here. So first things first is, you guys know I like to talk about the indexes. First is going to be NQ. Biggest thing that I have on NQ, it's a really choppy chart, if I'm being honest. You put this in the 4 hour, you can see how rough of an area we are currently between this 18,000 and 19,000 area. We haven't really developed anywhere. So to keep it pretty simple, I didn't see any trend lines. I didn't see really any important consolidations anywhere. But I'm looking at 18,200 for NQ to the downside. Upside, everything is just not going to give 2 cents of attention for it. So downside is what I'm going to be focused on. Like I said, upside, it's going to be a tough time for NQ to recover all of this from everything it's sold off in the past 2 days. So not saying it's not possible, but for the outlook into tomorrow and going forward to the week, I'm going to be focused more on the downside, since that's what we are focused on. So ES, on the other hand, ES does have a pretty clean consolidation that we have on the 4 hour to the smaller time frames. 4 hour and the 1 hour is what I really found this on. First thing is, you can see here on the 4 hour, the level that I'm looking at is the 5330 area. Had rejected there twice when we did test it, and then when we came back down and had to sell off, that's the area we bounced right off of. Now, obviously, the level being really close, that can change over the weekend going into Monday morning pre-market. Who knows, right? This can gap up and gap down. I can say exactly where it's at. Our job is to kind of gauge and see where the market's currently at and get an idea of what we can expect, right? It's not our job to predict where things are going to go. We leave that to the big investors and the big sharks. So, but yeah, looking at 5330 and then 5300 on that on ES. Pretty simple, nothing too crazy on that. And then, of course, everyone's favorite part of the watch list is the main stocks. So first things first is I'm going to be looking at crowd. The thing that I was telling my students yesterday with the Stock Hours Discord is that with crowd having the big news 2 to 3 weeks ago, however long it's been now, we don't know if this still has the weak sentiment because of that news or because the market has been selling off. So going into this week, let's say it's a really specific scenario, but if NQ were to gap up or recover some of the gains it lost on Friday, if NQ had gapped up or is recovering some of it tomorrow morning, and I see that crowd is exactly where it's at or it's close to making new lows, that's going to give me the idea that it's either ahead of the market or the news is still affecting it from that big outage we had with the whole Microsoft system with an update from them. So that's what I'm going to be watching on crowd. I'll be watching 211 down to 210 on that. So pretty simple levels, but I want to see if this still has its own weakness or if it's following the market. So next thing up is Nvidia here. Nvidia, if I put this on the daily time frame, I mean, this is going to be the stock that everyone's going to be talking about in the next week or two, depending if we break this by then or not, with earnings. So before it has earnings. So Nvidia, biggest name on everybody's watch list. With the whole market selling off, we're really getting an idea of where the chip market is going and how well it can actually hold up during these talks of a recession. The Feds don't want to admit it's a recession yet. So, I mean, honestly, it's up to them at this point to really say the word in any of their meetings. So, With Nvidia, we do have a $4 gap to the downside, and I'm looking at the 100 area. Some people can make the argument that they'll take an entry at 101, which is the low from Thursday. I'm not interested in that. I've been avoiding early entries all around, and it's been a amazing time, unless the early entry makes total sense with the sentiment of the stock. But as of now, I'm just sticking to exactly 100. I'm not going to risk taking it at 101. So that is my idea for Nvidia. That will be the biggest setup we have for a while, I believe, because that's the one that's been developing for a little bit now. So next up, as far as the side watch list, so these setups are kind of whatever, they're not the craziest setups, is AMD at 130. AMD was the strongest stock on Friday. The reason why I have this, even though this was the strongest stock on our watch list, nor ended up signaling a 40% trade on this. My thing on this is if the market gaps up and AMD happens to stay exactly where it's at, we're making lows pre-market without breaking the 130 level. That's going to give me the idea that this is weak and it's not strong with the market like it was on Friday, only it'll be reversed this time around. So that's a really specific scenario that I want for AMD if I were to play it, but who knows? We have to wait till tomorrow morning to see how that's going to react. So next up is Coin. I wanted to put this on my main watch list, but it was Coin's just a really sketchy stock, if I'm being honest. It's a tricky one. I traded this on Friday. It was great. Spreads were awful though, as per usual. Nothing new on Coin. But I am looking to take this at 198 and then at 193, where you can see on the 4-hour that is the level that we have been respecting on Coin, and it's pretty much its structural level. If you look at this chart, you can see how long of a consolidation we've been between this 200 to even 280, 270 area. You know, coin has just been stuck in a range. So it's really important to see now that I had earnings recently where this can hold up with the market, now that the market's finally taken a heavy pullback, and where this can take things. So of course crypto has to do a big part with it too. So I mean, that could always change over the weekend, and that can be a reason why it holds up. Who knows? You know, our job is to, like I said, execute with what's in front of us. So as far as coin goes, I'll be looking at 198 and level at 193 on that. So. And then last but not least is TSM. Funny enough, I don't have Tesla. Tesla's kind of mediocre setup, if that, but it's nothing that I would want to put on my trade ideas or something that I'm really interested on. So I'll be skipping Tesla for anybody who asks about that. So as far as TSM goes, I am looking is another setup on the daily time frame. You can see we have roughly a $3 gap from 146.1 to all the way down to 143.35. A little under $3, but you guys get the idea on that. So but yeah, I'll be looking at the 146 low as an entry. You can see that is the level the last time we started the gap. And then we got close on Friday as well here. You can see we got close at 146.89. So, you know, maybe like $1 away if you want to round up. But, you know, we're still pretty far away on that. But it is a mediocre setup that I like enough to take. It's not a key level into a gap play, so that's why it's not part of my A+ watch list. It's just a gap play that I'm looking to take on this. So nothing too crazy on that. So, but yeah, that is it for the watch list, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and you guys will get more content along with that. So with that much more being said, hope you guys enjoy it and have a good and safe week. So peace out.